Bagaitso madume gafehle. Your eyes are still firmly glued. Mo Mzansi Fundis. Well, it's time to deal with all the gossip that has been going around and bring in facts. And who better to do it than Mtho? Mtho, welcome back. I know last week we were talking a different conversation. Marano start to favorite topic here is football supporters. The transfer news. TS Galaxy Mtho, are they about to be sold? Why is the red hanger sale happening?
No, man. Look, I think you can see the business that they're doing in the transfer market. They extend the Siwele's contract until 2030. And then 2 weeks later, they're selling him to an Orlando Pirates, you know. But I do know that they have a replacement in place. Very interesting player. A boy called Onke Mulet came through Jomo Cosmos, and Jomo Sono has been raving on about the boy. He's been saying he feels he should be playing in the Betway Premiership. He played in the last 2 seasons for Venda Football Club in the Mtsepe Foundation Championship. I know they've signed him. He's been training with the club. So he's a direct replacement for Siwele. Very exciting player.
Does this mean, Mtho, all the money that they're gathering in the kitty, they're going to sort out their affairs with FIFA?
Of course, yeah.
So the ban should be over by the time the
transfer window is the season starts, possibly they would have resolved that because they want to register players. I know there's another player that they're looking at, from who plays for the Zimbabwe national team, a centre back. So I think by the time the season starts, they would have resolved their issues.
And I think I want us to have a look at the model of TS Galaxy. They one team that has had the belief in the NFD, and it's reaping rewards, and they seem to be making big money from these players that they're getting from the lower leagues.
Yeah, true, and I think it's a very beautiful model, especially for a club like TS Galaxy. But it must be backed by good coaching, because if there's no good coaching, there's no clear playing patterns. No one will see anything in those players, and they won't perform. You can also see the consistency. Yes, they didn't start off very well last season, but it was almost a disaster. Once Siad left, things started changing.
New broom came in. Well, not so new broom, but the broom that was always there. It came in and it started sweeping. There's a project that's happening to also, if I'm looking down, Eastern Cape. There's a new sporting director that has come in. We don't know what the role for Coach Morgan is going to be now, but an exciting project nonetheless. I'm looking at the acquisition. They've just gotten good men again from Orlando Pirates. Any more transfers that we should be expecting?
Yeah, look, I think you can see the way that they're signing. I do know that they were on the verge of finalizing with Richards Bay for Justice Figueiredo. I think a very exciting player comes
Eswatini
international experience as well. I do know that Semi Siabi is there as well. I think we do.
Where was Semi all along?
Look, last season he played part of the season he played for Polokwane City, and then they sort of parted ways. So now he's resurfaced there. Goodman goes back there. So I think they are making some good signings.
Are these the signings that can propel them to that number 8 spot? I mean, they missed out by a whisk.
When you look at, they've let go of a lot of experienced players. Andile Jali being one of them. But
both Jalis, they got rid of both Jalis.
When you also look at the Jali's contribution last season, you then feel, okay, I think they've made the right decision. They've gotten rid of, players that they didn't really need, and they are bringing in younger players. So I do think they're building something. Maybe top 8 may be too much of an ask, but they've got a new coach, young coach. So they still need to find their feet and stabilize the project after so many exits. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare.
So why is Mamelodi Sundowns so quiet? That's one like that. Are they still suffering from fatigue from the Club World Cup?
Look, I do think that the focus being on the FIFA Club World Cup would have obviously diverted their attention a bit.
And they have the bag now, eh?
But what I do see is there's quite a lot of exits happening. There's a number of players that they are looking to move. I heard this week that there was talk of Neo Maema going to Siwelele, Terrence Mashego as well. There's been talk of Tapelo Masewe as well. So there's going to be quite a number of exits, and I think it does align with what the coaches say, to say he wants to have a smaller squad, but they definitely are going to sign players.
Ighodaro, what's the story there? Is he still a Sundowns player or not?
Look, the Ighodaro thing is still hanging a bit in the balance. There's no clarity in terms of what has happened. And I do know that Kaizer Chiefs are waiting in the wings for that whole Sundowns thing to be clear.
Once
that is resolved, I think we'll see him at Kaizer Chiefs. Obviously, because you look at Flavio Silva, they've brought him in. You get the sense that he's gonna need a bit of time to sort of
acclimatize,
and for his teammates to also understand him, and probably the coaches as well in terms of how they use him. So someone like Ighodaro comes in and he understands the local landscape. So it's going to be interesting. But there is a team in Botswana that's playing CAF Confed Cup. Joining Galaxy. I mean, a lot of people know it. They wanted Naledi Hlongwane on loan for the CAF, and Kaizer Chiefs said no. We want to use the player. So we saw him score a goal in one of the friendly matches, so he's lifting his hand. He could be ahead of some of the new signings.
On a scale of 1 to 10, chances of Ighodaro joining Kaizer Chiefs? If you were to put your head on the block?
I'd say 7.
So there's a fairly great chance of that happening, yeah?
100%.
The left back situation, have they let go of this pursuit that they have of Fawaz? Yeah, there is they've washed their hands, Bashar.
The Fawaz is very interesting because you also get the sense that Sundowns are also drifting away, obviously because of the pricing of the player.
I mean, he's just renewed.
The reason Kaizer Chiefs also moved away from it was because of the demands that Stellenbosch.
Was Pirates interested?
Yes, they were at some point, but I'm not too sure if for them it would be the pricing issue as well. But what I do know is that Pirates are looking at a Neo Maema. So that's a player that we could still see going to Pirates. And when you look at it, I think they do. Pirates need a left back. They've only got John Hoto there.
And he was a makeshift, just started that role permanently.
Or maybe Younger Madiba as well. But they do need a left back going into the new season.
Is there potential of us seeing a disgruntled Fawaz? I mean, you look at all the players that are moving around him. Mulaisani opting not to renew. He's probably looking to moving the next season. Fawaz?
Look, there is that possibility, but I think when I listened to how he's spoken before, he said, look, I'm a Stellenbosch player, I need to continue delivering here. He knows very well that he needs to continue delivering and playing in the national.
With the AFCON coming especially.
Someone could see him out there. I mean, his agent has also spoken that there is, a bit of interest in North Africa. But look, from what I've gathered, not as serious as yet. So those are just possibilities.
All right, Mtho, let's leave it there for now, but you're not going anywhere. I'm going to ask those two gentlemen to come and join you. Unfortunately, that's all we have for now, but do stay with Mzansi Fundis. When we come back, we'll still have Mtho and look at what has been happening in the country. I mean, a lot of positives that we've experienced. Second half.